Welcome to SrcCodes. Today we're going to talk about what to do once you have the Scrum certifications. If you've been following me, you'll know that I have created a series of videos for the preparation of psm-i exam and also the pspo-i. So this is just a follow-up after you have succeeded in getting the certification of your choice. Now, this is something that will help you prepare for the industry. I hope these are the things that I have personally been pursuing and still am. So I would like to share my personal top 5 things that you can do once you have the certifications. The first thing you should do is read up. Yeah, I know everybody doesn't love reading, but I do. That's lucky for me. But even if you don't, there are a few things that you would like to go over if you are planning to make a career out of being in the Scrum as a part of the Scrum team. So basically, you got the certification, so you have a basic idea of the foundational knowledge that is required to operate as a part of the Scrum team. But let's be honest, it's not a living evidence of the fact that you are aware of everything that you need to know, or you are actually able to bring it to life. So you have the certification that tells that you have the basic knowledge and are aware of the concepts and the principles and the guiding rules of Scrum. But now you need to know more about it, widen your horizon. So the first thing that you should read up is the new product development game. Now this is a research paper that lays the foundation for everything that we know today. It was published in 1986, and I strongly suggest you do. It's just a paper, it's very short, but you will realize that a lot of the things, in fact most of the things that have been further refined and implemented and structured over time were actually introduced in this research paper. So the first thing you should do, and if the only thing you're doing right now, is read the new product development game. I'll put the link so that you can access it. The second thing is actually the first book that I have personally read, that is Doing Twice the Work in Half the Time. So this is a book, it just was, the name of it is so cliche, it felt like one of those self-help books that is sold on the newspaper stands, but I strongly suggest you read it. And this is especially good for people who are not good readers because it's very engaging and interesting and the flow is very natural. So I think you will enjoy reading this. I personally couldn't stop. I felt it's an unputdownable, and I have finished it within 3 days, I guess. But in your case, if you're somebody who loves reading, you will finish it faster than I did. And if you are somebody who doesn't enjoy reading as much, you still will enjoy reading this book. So it's by Geoff Sutherland and J.J. Sutherland. So it's very important that you do. Again, this is something we all should read, and it is the most pleasant way of introducing how Agile works in different environments other than that of software development. The third book is very highly recommended. It's a pocket guide, Scrum a pocket guide, and it's not very long, but it's loaded with knowledge. So it's a very good book to read and to own and to read and reflect over time. So again, a wonderful read and an important one as that. The fourth book is Scrum Mastery by Geoff. This book will talk about real life experiences and what were the situations, how he addressed those, and what were the findings. And he shares basically lots of details, so tons of learning concisely put in across those pages. Things we can try to implement, things we can draw on. Very important if you are looking to become a Scrum Master. The last book is Software in 30 Days. This is written by Schwaber and J. Sutherland. So I'm thinking these people being the pillars of Scrum, whatever they write must be read at least once. And all the other books in this domain, like Scrum a Pocket Guide, has a foreword by, I think, Ken Schwaber, and all the books in this domain literally need a validation from these two people. So when these two people get together to write a book, we must read it. So those are the top 5 things that you should read, keep handy, and keep reading. The second most important thing that I did, and reflecting back, it's probably is the first most important I did, even before I read those books, was find yourself a guide, a mentor. I have found in general, speaking to a lot of Scrum Masters, that they happen to be great mentors in real life. So maybe they are so used to that role, and the really good Scrum Masters, not the ones who just have the certificate or playing the role because it's a job for them. Most Scrum Masters are in real life great mentors. So if you have access to somebody, or if you have the opportunity to connect with somebody who is actually a Agile coach or a Scrum Master, do connect, and you will be amazed of what learning and experiences they share with you. Another thing, when you are trying to connect with somebody, if your goal is only to land a job and you're looking for a referral, then I don't think you will be successful as many times as you would like to be. Because the moment you reach out to somebody, hey, do you have a job? Can you refer me to this? It kind of is a dead end to a conversation. At this point, you just have the certification, I'm guessing, level 1 certifications, and you need to learn and grow and understand how the industry operates. So connecting with a mentor would be more in terms of developing yourself, what you can do, what's happening in this industry, what to read, what to update yourself on. So that's what a mentor is for. So if you're lucky like me, you will be able to find a mentor who's willing to guide you. The fourth thing, and this is something, if you get a mentor, great. If you don't, try connecting to some Agile mentorship programs in your city. No matter where you live, there will be a group of people who are, usually having an organization called Agile Mentorship, because I think most of the cities have these groups, and you can be a part of the chapter for your city. And in fact, some cities even have multiple groups led by some Agile coach or somebody who's a pioneer in that industry for that particular city. And because of COVID, all of these programs have gone online. So no matter where you are, you can join in. Right now, I'm part of a program from my city, but I have people joining in from across the continent. So right now I'm in Canada, but in my program, I have seen people joining from Australia and also from Europe. So you can understand that this is the advantage among the so many advantages and challenges of COVID, that you can be a part of something right across the globe in a different time zone altogether. So reach out, look for mentorship programs that are happening in your city or in some city, and try to get in. The next thing you should do is build your network. So reach out to people, connect to people who are in this field. Again, a caveat is that don't reach out only for a job request. You are reaching out because you want to grow, you want to learn, you have to be there, you have to show up. So I connect with people personally only looking out for mentors or who can at least help me in this regard. And I have been lucky in finding so many people who are willing to do that. And while connecting, it's important that you join networking groups and those professional forums that talk about what's happening in this field. Scrum and Agile, basically Agile, is so new. I know it's celebrated 20 years, but it is so new because it's a very practice driven. So it's not an exact science, it's not exact numbers. So it's mostly what is Agile is what Agilists do. So you really want to get on board and figure out what's new and what's happening, things you should be aware of, things you can use in your day-to-day work. And so I strongly suggest you try to find a professional group and be a part of it, be a part of the conversation, try to know what's happening. It doesn't mean that it will lead you immediately to a role of your choice, but eventually when you do have that interview, you will be well informed and you will be confident. So please do that for the future. do find those groups and be a part of the conversation. You will find there people sharing tools that they're personally using, people sharing experiences. So how they're doing retros, how they're doing the sprint planning, what's different, how they're collaborating. All these things will help you land that next job. And finally, I leave you with a question. What's next? So you prepared and appeared for those Scrum certifications. Now you are a proud owner of a certification. What's next? Learning never stops. You have to continuously upgrade yourself. So you have to be in constant pursuit of new knowledge, how to be a better version of yourself. And it's not just those happiness and self-care, motivational speeches that are doing the rounds on social media. This is actually true for your work as well. So you have to be a better version of yourself, else how you will not be relevant anymore. And I know, from hearing it from me, who's trying to reinvent herself after a 6-year-long career gap, please take note that it's very important that you stay relevant. And the only way you can stay relevant is to know where you're going next. So your career path is not necessarily dictated by your organization or the role you're looking for. You need to know where you're going next and what you need to do to achieve that. So if you have a psm-1 certification and you are you think that you want to become a Scrum Master, then you should be preparing for psm-2. And if you are a product owner, same thing applies for you as well. So wherever you are, whatever you have done, that does not necessarily mean that you are stopping your journey. So since in order to move on, to stay focused while you hunt for that perfect role, have a career path for yourself. I did. The moment I finish my exam, I need to know where I'm going next. I know it sounds paranoid, but it's important because I have to stay relevant in an industry which is changing by the day. So IT industry is one of the most dynamic industries, and that is the entire reason why Agile and Scrum and Deming cycle, everything came up into existence. So anything that is changing so fast, we have to embrace dynamic, this behavior. So we have to embrace change and be confident enough to ride it, and we have to adapt. So figure out what you're going to do next. Focus on that. And I hope you find this video useful, and I hope, even though it doesn't directly help you land that next role or your next job, but I hope I leave you with pointers that will help you improve yourself, develop yourself, and be a better version of yourself. So you become a fabulous Scrum Master or a product owner. Goodbye, and thank you for listening and watching this video. Leave a comment. Let us know whether you find these tips useful or not, and what we can do and what I should have included in this video. Thanks. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.